Block.
Thank you, Mr Chair. I see there that Lynn Play wished to continue her speech. I apologise for it, but I will continue in the same vein that it is, on the one hand, it seems, well, it's a very good thing having a written employment agreement kept, actually constructed by the employer and kept by the employer as a reference point, and on the one hand, that means that it's something to refer back to see if the employer's matching the requirements in that agreement. But on the other hand, I think as the previous speaker pointed out, what will happen is that the employers' organisations will construct a standard agreement that does contain the 90-day provision without any reason being required for dismissing a person within that 90 days. And that will be sent out to every employer, and they will be, there'll be a black mark against them if they don't use it. Or almost, the employers are very organised in that respect, and making sure all the other employers sort of keep in line. So it's going to be very difficult to, even though supposedly there's a choice in terms of whether you go into the 90-day arrangement. In fact, you won't be able to get a job anywhere else because all of the contracts will have that 90-day provision in them. So you've got a choice between having a job and not having a job. And there'll be all those, and I agree with Lynn Play that there'll be all the euphemisms for letting people go instead of sacking them, etc., etc. There's all the excuses, another one they come up with, you're overqualified. And you're a very nice worker, but you're overqualified, let you go, we want to get somebody else, etc., etc. And these are not sort of real reasons, and they won't be required under the 90-day legislation, but you can see how things are going to operate. And it's all completely unnecessary because, particularly in the labour market we've got now, where there is a level of unemployment, any reasonable employer won't be looking to recruiting people for 90 days. They'll be recruiting to get the best person on a permanent basis and providing the training from day one and spending the money on that training. And to have that 90-day provision is really just, it's got nothing to do with the quality of the employees they hire. It's got all to do with being anti-union and, as the example was given before, sacking people if they show any sign of standing up for their rights or linking up with the union or whatever. And that will be the primary reason why people are sent down the road. And generally, the workers who are pro-union who will be sent down the road are generally the better workers. I've found that the more one stands up for other people's rights, the more one's confidence in one's own rights and skills, and they tend to be the better workers. They'll be the ones that are sacked. In fact, in my experience, it's been the most unionised workplaces that put out the better product. I used to work at the New Zealand Motor Corporation in Petone, producing Honda cars, and we had a strong union there. And the quality of the Honda cars was great. My partner worked out at what was then Todd Motors and then changed to Mitsubishi Motors, where the union was much weaker, and there was quite a lot of people got annoyed at the conditions there, and there was a bit of sabotage of cars actually. The quality of the cars coming out was less because the union was less strong. So it's actually in the employer's interest to have a strong union in the workplace, but a lot of employers don't operate that way. They just want to run and Trevor Mallard gave some examples of particularly in small employment situations where the boss is more concerned with just keeping control over everything than actually having a collective workforce that works well together. So I think that to summarise the existence of this written agreement, it has its positive sides, but in the hands of the Employers' Federation, it probably will lead to a universalisation of this offensive 90-day provision.